I hope this video provides you some support and some inspiration. I think this is awesome. All credit to Mrs. McAllister at South Middle School. I hope to provide you a snippet of one of her recordings from her classes. It is absolutely amazing what is going on in there. Let me show you a model of how this might work, how this might look. In my Schoology course, October's folder, I'm going to go to this week, go to October 23rd. And here's what I've laid out for my students. I want to be clear about what's going on here. We're going to start class 9:05 in this whole group meeting. Okay, class will begin here. It says later we'll transition to some small groups. Please click the link below to join us by 9:05. So that's the link for everyone. And I've already got that meeting going. It is this meeting here. We are recording. And if my students were here with me, that's where they would appear, of course. At a point in time, in this meeting, I would share my screen, and I'm going to go over to Schoology and explain this to the students. What I have down here is Team 1, Team 2, and Team 3, and I've individually assigned these pages to specific students in my class. Let me show you the view from a student's page. This is a student's page. They have the whole group page with the meeting link. And then because this student appears in Team 2, that's the only page that student has access to. They can't accidentally go into Team 1. They can't accidentally go into Team 3. This is the only team that appears for that student because I individually assigned that page. Now, if you're not sure what that means, I'm going to click the Edit button. I'm going to go down here to that Individually Assigned button. Notice I typed in Jessica Keller, and her name appeared. I could type in Jolie. I could type in student 9, and I could assign that to student 9. I just type in their names, and it individually assigns that page to that student or students. That's what I've done. I displayed the page inline so it would appear right there for students. I did that for different members of Team 2, different members of Team 3. Put the directions there. There's a link to a Quizizz. Now, if you're not familiar with Quizizz, it's a lot like Kahoot or Gimkit. There's these gamified review systems out there. Quizizz is free. Quizizz has come a long way. It's really fun for kids. But what's going to happen is students in these small groups are going to attend my whole group meeting where I provide maybe some review, some instruction, whatever. And then I release students. I end that meeting. And my students then come into their small group meetings where they access the Quizizz and they join, they start the quiz, they input the names of each member in their team, so they appear in the leaderboard that I see. Then they begin taking their quiz. And in their small groups, they're talking about these questions. Let me show you what's in this quiz. It's really, really nice. The quiz is on theme. Students are going to take turns reading questions like this one. Carrie loved her phone and her tablet. She was always looking at one or the other. Her parents would try to talk to her about her life, but she would just ignore them, etc., etc. And then they're going to answer questions about the passage that they just read. Here's a second passage. And students in the small groups are going to take turns reading those passages and answering the questions. And they're going to have a chance to talk about them amongst themselves. Reading another passage. So there's just a few passages, 5 of them, that students are going to read and talk about with their classmates, and they're going to answer. That's how the lesson is going to run. What I have up here right now is all of the small groups are running right now, and I'm recording them. Team 1 is being recorded. Team 2, Team 3 is being recorded. All of those are being recorded. I would enter each of those and admit the students. They don't go in there without sitting in a lobby. I would admit them all, start the recording. Go to Team 2, admit them all, start the recording. And as students are in there, what I can do is resume, and that pops me into Team 1. And now I can hear the audio. If the students were in there conversing, talking about those passages, completing the quizzes, I could observe for a moment. And then maybe I want to go over here to Team 2. I click Resume. Now I'm inside of Team 2. It's still recording. I hope this makes sense. I think it's something worth pursuing. Here's what I found. Miss McAllister told me that when she started allowing her students some freedom inside these small groups to talk to their peers, her whole group meetings became so much richer. Students that had never spoke before now had an opportunity to speak. Were more engaged in the whole group meeting because they had had some time to connect and talk with their peers about the content that they were discussing in the whole group. So I think it would make those large group meetings that much richer if we could design some small opportunities to get our kids connected together, give them a chance to discuss and talk about content together in small, less intimidating groups online. Here's just a moment of one of Mrs. McAllister's small groups.
You could have used multiple points on that.
Sorry. Which character usually has unhealable wound? Do you want me to use the double jeopardy on this one?
No. It might be a villain.
Yeah, I think it's a villain too.
What? But it usually is a villain, though.
Yeah. What type of character is Spider-Man?
He's a hero.
Yep.
Wait, don't tell me he's a villain on this question.
Which character is Donkey has a minx and a sidekick? He helps Shrek.
He helps Shrek.
A mentor's character is he is wise. True.
True. Double jeopardy again?
The mentor always has supernatural powers.
False.
Oh, I should use the double jeopardy. Which is not a character. Unintelligent.
Unintelligent?
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? Thanks for watching.